Hey everyone, I'm Kristen, the Cross Stitching Runner, and welcome back to another episode of my channel. This is where I talk a lot about cross stitch, a little bit about life and what's going on for me. It is Saturday the 2nd of October and it's a long weekend here in Canberra and for a good few parts of Australia anyway. So I also just want to say a big hello and welcome to all new subscribers and all returning subscribers and viewers as well. And I also want to say a really big thank you to everyone who has spent the time watching my last episode. It was a pretty long episode, a lot longer than a lot of my normal ones, and it did take quite a long lead up to actually see the pattern that I had sold near the start of September. I guess it's been a while since I've recorded my this episode. I don't know about any of you, but I've found that sometimes when we've had full moons and all of that astrological kind of stuff happening, I don't know about you, but I know I tend to be a little bit on struggle street sometimes. So I struggled a bit with technology for the last 3 weeks or so, and especially with communicating and trying to get my message across properly and anything in between that can be connected with it. And some of that was actually connected with trying to figure out what I've done to my website for hot cross stitching. So thankfully, some of the things that I've been tweaking and playing with in the background are now properly working. They are the way that I want it to be. The biggest issue that I had was trying to actually get PayPal up and working again. I'd made some tweaks in the background to suit the way that I want things to be in the background, and at one stage it meant that as much as people could go to the website and look around, see any cross stitch patterns or anything they wanted to purchase, the biggest issue was that they couldn't actually purchase anything. So I just want to let you all know that if by chance you are thinking of purchasing any patterns and you might have found some difficulties with purchasing anything, it should be all sorted out now. So yeah, definitely go and check out hotcrossstitching.com.au, and I'll also have the address down in the description box if that helps as well. So with this particular episode, by memory is episode number 11. Double digits! I mean, properly double digits. That is really cool. So with this episode, I've been doing a lot of stitching on some existing works in progress and not a lot else. So this is where it will be very much a shorter episode compared to last time. So I really got into the groove of stitching Dewdrop Daisy. So this is what the project will look like when it's done, and it's based upon a photograph of a flower that I took in my garden, and it's got some dewdrops or water drops on the petals, and since it has been the first pattern that I've sold, it really gave me that motivation to keep working on that project, because I just really felt inspired and excited about seeing a lot more progress on the project. So I'll insert some pictures of what the project looked like last time we caught up, and this is what the project looks like now. So it's looking pretty good. So some of the biggest changes you'll see with this project is that I've connected up the petals with the background. So there's no longer this divide between the left and right side of the petals. So what I'm working on now, I'm just folding this up a bit so I can show you a little bit better. My biggest challenge now is to actually fill in a lot of the space where you see of the purple fabric, trying to fill that in. So my biggest challenge is that before the pattern had been properly ready for being up on the website for sale, I'd done some tweaks in the pattern, probably probably not long after I started stitching it, especially with the petals and such, because I wanted to, I guess, reduce how many threads are in the chart that really only required one stitch here, three stitches there. From a stitcher's perspective, to me that seems redundant almost, where I don't want to spend anywhere between say 50 cents to $1.50, depending on what store I go to buy some threads in the called for list, to then find that I really only needed to stitch one or two crosses out of the entire project. So that's where I made those changes, then started stitching still on this project, but with the updated pattern, and it caused me a bit of strife. So that's where I'm going to be getting quite creative with where I put the crosses, because as you might be able to see, that many of the colours are quite similar, just to blend it in, but also in some cases give it a little bit of that texture and dimension. So yeah, I'll hopefully be able to fudge it a little bit if nothing else. And I think that's half of the beauty of cross stitch and the challenges we give ourselves almost unintentionally. So I've worked on Dewdrop Daisy for the majority of September, and now that we've moved into October, I've got this itch to start a new pattern, but I'm trying to hold off with that because I thought, no, I also need to be still working on some of my own patterns. And over the last couple of days or so, I've come back to working on the Blue Mountains walking trail. And the Blue Mountains is in New South Wales, and it's, I can't remember how far exactly away it might be from Sydney. It's definitely west of Sydney. It could be like by train or something. It could take an hour or two away from the centre of Sydney. And yeah, the Blue Mountains, one of the key landmarks that you may have heard about is the Three Sisters. It's a natural formation of three rocks and has a lot of cultural significance to the Aboriginal people for that area, but more broadly speaking, a lot of the Aboriginal tribes and such across Australia. So yeah, if you're ever interested in finding out about the Three Sisters and such, definitely do a Google search or something like that, and yeah, you'll be able to find out about the story behind the rock formations. But it's a beautiful landscape at the Blue Mountains. So hopefully when borders open up, and we can start traveling internationally, if not across states, if you at least do domestic travel, it's definitely worth going to the Blue Mountains, and it's something that I'm definitely keen to do in terms of going back there, because we'd gone to the Blue Mountains back in, it was a few years ago now, in November for my boyfriend's birthday. I can't remember how far ago. It was a few years ago at least, before all the fun stuff happened. And yeah, beautiful area. So what's been going on is you may not see too much of a difference with this project, and this time around I will definitely have the project showing around the right way, because the challenge with this particular project is that it is a picture that was taken in portrait view, but somehow when I converted it to a cross stitch pattern, the software that I used, it decided, no, I really don't want to put this in portrait mode. I want to put this in landscape. So that's just a heads up with this particular project, that if you do choose to purchase the pattern, that you'll just need to be aware that you may need to stitch it in, have your fabric in landscape mode. So when I'm stitching it, I'm actually, move this around the right way. Okay, so when I'm stitching this project, I actually have it this way. And so I'm stitching this on 25 or 28 count easy grid fabric, and the pink squares are 20 by 20. And I'm definitely enjoying stitching it on this particular fabric, and it's definitely something that's going to take me a while to do, because the finished dimensions for the project is, or the design area, is 35.5 centimeters by 23.75 centimeters in terms of a cross, and then it's 35.5 centimeters high. I don't know, I can't remember how much that is in inches, but it should work out. So it works out to being roughly 560 stitches high by 374 wide. So hopefully that'll be all good. So I also mentioned that since we're in October, I've got a little bit of an itch to start a new project, and a lot of it's because of many different Flosstubers I've watched over the years who are very much into stitching Halloween themed cross stitch patterns and the like. So I've gotten this itch to start this project. So it's called Scaredy Cats. It's a heaven and earth design, and the artwork is by Jeff Haney. I hope I spell or pronounce his name correctly. And I bought this pattern earlier this year when Heaven and Earth had a 50% off sale, and yeah, I've had this the cover sheet floating around for a little while, just as part of me talking about haul and all the rest in earlier episodes. So because I've had this under my nose a little bit, that's why I am keen to make a start on the project and hopefully work on it through the month of October. But then I don't know about you, but I know I start giving myself a case of the guilts every so often when I think about starting a new project. So I know that for some people, you can never have enough works in progress. You can never have enough projects happening, and I'm definitely a person where I don't really worry about how many patterns or projects, sorry, that I have on the go. What I'm giving myself the guilt about is thinking, well, if I'm going to start a new project, I should be stitching one of my own patterns rather than anything else. But I also need to stitch something that I enjoy, that I want to stitch. And also, I have many other projects that need some love and attention, and I'll get to them as well. So that's a little bit of the internal battle that I have happening. And I was talking about it with a friend earlier today, and the best analogy we applied to this situation was that it's a bit like wanting to eat a chocolate bar, and you might be thinking, oh, no, I can't eat a chocolate bar. I'm really trying to be healthy here and take care of myself and that kind of thing. I've already had some other treats and everything throughout the day or the week or whatever it might be, and so I was like, no, I'll have some of these other things that like an apple or other kind of fruit or other things that should balance out this craving or this thought of having the chocolate bar. But then the brain is still going, you still haven't given me that chocolate bar yet. We still need to have one. So it's a bit like that for me sometimes when it comes to cross stitch patterns, where it's on the brain. It's like, come on, you want to start this. You need to start this. So that's where I'm coming from with thinking about this pattern. I thought, well, it's a long weekend, so we don't have to work on Monday, and I'm about halfway through Saturday already. It's 26 past 1 in the afternoon. So I've still got another however many hours I want before I go to bed for tonight. Full day Sunday, full day Monday. And it's like, nah, considering what life is like for many of us or all of us right now, we need to find comfort somewhere. We need to find joy in life in whichever ways we can. So I think I've talked myself into starting Scaredy Cats. So hopefully when we next catch up, I'll actually be able to show some progress on Scaredy Cats. I'll most likely stitch it on the required fabric size, so it's 25 count fabric, and go from there. I know I have a lot of the colours already out and about for other projects, so it shouldn't be an issue. Should be all right. So again, this is actually quite a short episode. So I don't think this is even going to be 20 minutes long. So I just want to say thank you all so much for sticking with me and being patient for Flosstube episodes and all the rest. And I hope that you all stay safe and well and all the fun stuff. And until next time, I hope you're all able to get a bit of stitching in, and hopefully next episode I might actually give you guys a bit of a tour of my website if you're interested, and hopefully share with you some of the new patterns that I have up on that website, and we can go from there. And it'll be good to catch up with you all next time, and until then, stay safe and happy stitching.